The Good and the Beautiful's Space Science Unit Study, geared for grades 3 through 8. There are separate student journals for 3 through 6 and 7th and 8th graders. And there's also a younger sibling add-on K through 2nd grade workbook that you can get to go along with it. Let's take a look inside. Time for a real page turner. The Good and the Beautiful Space Science for grades 3 through 8. The course book is $20. If you get the PDF version, it's $10. And the student journal, if you get a printed copy, is $6.50. Now this is for grades 3 through 6. There is an extension lesson journal for the 7th and 8th graders, and that one printed is $7. Now this set does also have an activity book for younger students that is available, and that's for grades K through 2, and that is only $6.50. There are these 2 read-alouds that go along with the 3 through 6 graders, and then for the 7th and 8th grade extension, there's a book on Galileo. So let's take a look inside the course book. Here are the lessons that are included. And here at the beginning, you'll see that there are these icons, and these you'll find throughout the lessons, which makes it really easy to see what the next thing is that's coming up. Videos are included online, just talks about the 2 books that goes with it. And then here's for the lesson extensions. You can see that Galileo book, and here's an example of maybe some work that would be for that level. And their student journals are the same, which is great, because then you're not going between students and, oh, what do you have and what do you have? It's all the same, except for that the 7th and 8th graders have extra pages that bring them into that extension work. So that's really streamlined as well. Here shows you the supplies that are needed, and pretty basic things that should be easy to get. Some things are optional and they'll let you know, or of course you don't have to do every activity. Here are the vocabulary words, and they'll let you know when those need to be put up. And then at the beginning too, they have these pictures of the different planets and their names that they will use throughout the lesson. So they say cut those out, put them aside, have them ready to go. So here we'll take a look at lesson 1. It'll always tell you at the beginning how to prepare and what things you're going to need. And then as you can see, the icons show up right away, so it's letting you know what to do. It's a scripted curriculum, so it tells you exactly what to say, where things are found. So here you'll be putting up some of the vocabulary words. This is kind of an interesting visual where they take the planet, they put it in a bag that represents the solar system, put that in a bag with the galaxy into a bigger bag that's the universe. So it's showing how things are inside each other. So that's a really neat visual idea for the kids. Here you're looking and observing. So there is that artwork which goes along with the Good and Beautiful included, and throughout the different lessons you'll see that artwork included with recognizing things in it. So here is what the student journal looks like. So here for lesson 1, you can see up at the top, you'll be cutting out these cards, and then they will roll the die, and whatever number they go on, they read that factoid about the Milky Way. And then when they read the factoid, they can glue it down to the page until they've got them all in there. So that's it for lesson 1. All right, let me just flip through some of the lessons so you can get an idea of what some of the other stuff might look like. This in the middle is a little book on the sun. It's kind of printed like a flip book, so that feels a little bit awkward to me, but it's an interesting idea to have this mini book in the middle. And big beautiful pictures, of course. There is nice quality, so the printing versus not. If you've got a good printer or a good price, it could be worth it, but it really is very affordable. Looks like a game in the back. Lots of cards you can see throughout it that you'll be cutting out for various activities. And then this is what the inside of the student journal looks like, just so you can get an idea of some of the different activities that you might find in here. Some of the pages are set up for when they do their activities, just writing down what they've figured out too. And now for the read aloud books. These two books together are $15, and the 7th and 8th grade extension book is $7. That's the one on Galileo, which I don't have here. And they actually have another one too that you could get. And some of the science units do have additional books that aren't directly related to the curriculum, but they also recommend them, and you can get them to go along with it. And I haven't seen in here where it specifically says, like, read this book now. It could be hidden in there somewhere, but it seems like these are just kind of something that you have on your shelf and you read when you have time. This first one was really interesting. The story of Mae Jemison. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. What an interesting young woman who just had all kinds of things in her life and grew up in a family full of thinkers. And so it just goes through her life, all the different things that she said, the way that her life shaped the way that she thought about things. And then she did end up in NASA and going around the earth. So really, really neat story. And here's the woman in the back. And then the second one is called Mars Exploration 1960 to 2016. Really simple and straightforward storyline of, not really a storyline, just timeline of what has happened with Mars discovery and ventures that have gone to Mars. So just an interesting overview, not super deep, but follows the details along as it goes. I hope this look inside the space science for Good and Beautiful has been helpful for you. And remember that real life is messy and beautiful, and better with books. Time to space out. Let's go to space. And I hope this look, whoops, a baby. And I really don't know what else to say, so let's take a look inside.